What do you get when you cross keep away with an iconic Spanish soccer club? This is Rondo 5v2. Yes, the game you thought you invented at recess was actually developed by FC Barcelona, and it helps players develop their passing and teamwork skills. Create a square with your cones. Arrange your players in a circle just inside your cones, with 5 attackers on the outside and 2 defenders in the center. Give your defenders pennies to hold, not to wear, since players will trade positions often.
Shifting and moving the whole time. Let's go. Play.
Here's how it looks. It's classic monkey in the middle. The attackers pass around or between the defenders, who try to win the ball. The idea is quick, controlled touches. The more, the better, but if a pass goes out of bounds or is intercepted, the attacker who last touched it swaps places with the defender. The best players in the world train with this game because it mimics what happens on the field: passing in tight spaces, quick thinking, and cooperation. Keep track of consecutive passes and try to top that number as a team each round.
Play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Love it.
Coaches, encourage your attackers to draw defenders in before passing. Defenders, meanwhile, should avoid lunging in for the ball. Remind them to stay balanced and communicate with their partner. Remember, controlled touches, short passes, cooperation. You'll be coaching Barcelona in no time, or not.
Your players will definitely be going toe-to-toe in this one. This is Knockout. Here, we're working on players' shielding and poke tackling skills. In other words, we're teaching players to protect the ball and steal it at the same time. Use cones to mark a rectangular grid. Everyone gets a ball. Here's how it looks. Players dribble their balls randomly around the space. As they go, they try to steal other players' balls using poke tackles, like this, all while protecting their own ball. If a player's ball gets knocked out, it's 5 bell taps to keep playing, like this, passing the ball back and forth with the insides of their feet. What's a poke tackle? It's not like an NFL tackle. In soccer, it's when a player uses their foot to poke or knock an opponent's ball away, so they can steal the ball and make off with their prize. Yes, some players might get a little overzealous and step into a dribbler's path to tackle. Show them how to poke the ball away from the side or the back to keep it safe. Coaches, players are also learning to protect their ball here. If you haven't introduced shielding yet, encourage players to focus on trying to keep their body between the ball and their opponent.
Make sure that we shield the ball and protect the ball and keep the ball as far away from the defenders as we can.
Remember, heads up. Poke from the side, protect your ball. Whoa, where'd that toe come from?
Here's a game that's right up Captain America's alley. This is Shield Steal. Here, players are learning to maintain possession of the ball under pressure from a defender, otherwise known as shielding. Set up a small square of cones for each pair of players and give each pair a ball. Here's how it looks. One player shields the ball while the other tries to steal it. If the first player loses possession, they try to steal it back while the other player shields the ball. After about 60 seconds, call time, then switch roles so each player gets multiple turns shielding. But before you start, show players how to shield. It starts with positioning, like this. Body sideways, arm up and out, like you're holding, well, a shield.
Then you're gonna use, hold on Sheridan, you're gonna use your foot farthest away from the defender to move the ball.
Using the sole of the foot to maintain control, and pivoting or even leaning into the defender, like this, to keep the ball as safe as possible. Coaches, shielding is hard. It can take 5 or 6 years to master this skill, not 5 or 6 reps. So take it slowly and praise their effort. Remember, shields up. Ball on the outside foot. Go for the steal. Soccer players, assemble! Sure, you can call it monkey in the middle, but Mojo is all about a touch of class. This is 4v2 keep away.
Let's play. Let's play.
Here, we're working on passing, shielding, and, with luck, stealing.
Good. Touch. Touch.
Use 4 cones to mark a square space. You'll need 1 ball for every 6 players. In each group, make 4 players attackers and 2 defenders. Here's how it looks. The 4 attackers work together to keep the ball away from the defender and try to rack up as many passes in a row as possible. Encourage attackers to form a loose diamond shape and keep their hips open to the field so they can see as much of it as possible at all times, like that. This also helps them see support to their left, right, and center. Some attackers may try to get close to their teammate with the ball to be even more supportive.
Good work.
Remind them to try to make the field as big as they can when attacking, not crowd the ball. The bigger the field, the more space their opponents have to defend. If a defender wins the ball, they can trade places with the attacker who last touched it, or have some fun to try to keep the ball away from the attackers. Just don't forget to rotate defenders every few minutes so players have chances to play both sides. Coaches, if you want to make it more challenging, you can limit the number of touches players can take on the ball, like 1 or 2 touches. This encourages attackers to anticipate where they want to send the ball before they receive it, so their first touch can have purpose. Remember, diamond shape, hips open, make the field big. Stuck in the Middle with You feels like the right song for this, right?
No player is an island, except in this game, where they kind of are. This is 1v1 to Endlines. Here, each player gets lots of touches on the ball, and they're developing their dribbling, attacking, and defending skills. Use 4 cones to create a small rectangular grid. Divide your players into 2 teams, 1 in pennies, starting on opposite end lines. Here's how it looks.
Here we go. Keep that ball under control.
Players scrimmage 1v1 and score by dribbling the ball over their opponent's end line, within a hula hoop's distance of their body.
Well done, Charlie.
Each time a player scores or the ball goes out of bounds, new players rotate in and a new round begins.
Well done, Sasha.
There's no shooting here. Yes, we know that's the fun part, but this helps players learn to control the ball, and it gives defenders more of a challenge.
Go shooting, don't let her turn.
Players love this game because they get so many touches on the ball and even more room to score, and it's fast-paced. So even if you have players waiting, they'll rotate quickly and appreciate the chance to catch their breath. Coaches, if players are unevenly matched, pair them off by ability instead, or play the ball directly to a less skilled player. This way you can challenge each player to the level of their ability. Remember, use your speed, protect the ball, maintain control. Where they're going, you don't need goals.
Sure, 1-on-1 is nice, but 2-on-2 is even better. This is 2v2 to Endlines, attacking. This 2-on-2 scrimmage helps players learn to control the ball and attack as a team.
Good work, good work. Nicely done, boys.
Use 4 cones to mark a small rectangular space. Divide your players into 2 teams, 1 in pennies, starting on opposite end lines. Here's how it looks. 2 attackers on one end initiate play, trying to score by dribbling the ball over their opponent's end line with the ball under control, within a hula hoop's distance of the body. The defenders can steal or intercept the ball and score too. When a player scores or the ball goes out of bounds, new players rotate in and a new round begins. Attackers at this age often stay close to each other instead of spreading out, but space is where the magic happens. Encourage the attacker with the ball to dribble at one of the defenders, getting them to commit to the ball, while the other attacker tries to find open space so they're open for a pass.
You see the attack or the defender coming this way, we pass away from the pressure and we dribble into the open space. Yes?
When it works, it's pretty great, even if it takes a couple tries or a couple seasons to get there. Did we mention these boys are really good? Don't sweat it if it's a little messier when you try it. Coaches, the attack doesn't stop with that first pass. Encourage players when they receive the ball to look for open space and take a ball somewhere new. Remember, spread out, find open space, and pass to your teammate. Pass, move, repeat.
We're encouraging players to be greedy in this game. Just kidding, but not really. We call it Team Shield Steal. This game helps players develop their shielding and stealing skills. Use 4 cones to create a square space. Divide your players into 2 teams, 1 in pennies. You'll need half as many balls as you have players.
Play. play.
Here's how it looks. One team starts with all of the balls. Their job is to shield their balls. The other team's job, you guessed it, to steal them. Players can go for any ball or team up to try to steal one. The only hitch is that once they win a ball, they have to shield their prize. The goal is to be the team with the most balls by the end of the round. Some players might get a little too enthusiastic about their heist. We love that passion and energy. Just keep an eye out to make sure they keep it safe. If players are new to shielding, it may look messy. It can take a long time to learn to shield effectively. Just remind them to keep their arm up, as if they're holding an actual shield, while keeping the ball on their far foot, away from the defender. Coaches, this game is also about teaching players to apply pressure as a team. Two players going for the ball will be more effective at winning it. At the same time, encourage attackers to back up their teammates if they can, by finding space to receive a pass.
What can we do to try to help Abby? Maybe Zoe comes over to this side so that she has an option of somebody to pass to.
Remember, shield the ball, win the ball, work as a team. Greed is good, in this game at least. Sharing is caring, except when it comes to ball possession. This is 3v3 plus 1 keep away. Here, players are working on ball control and passing while working as a team to maintain possession. It may look simple, but even the pros practice with this game because it mimics the fast pace and kinds of situations players encounter on the field. Set up a square of cones for every 7 players. Divide players into 2 teams of 3, 1 in pennies. The 7th player is neutral, or all-time offense, which means they help the team in possession of the ball at any given time. Here's how it looks. Attackers try to rack up as many passes in a row as they can without losing possession to the opposing team. In other words, they play keep away. Defenders, meanwhile, can intercept or steal the ball, at which point the neutral player shifts allegiance and helps them keep it away from the other team. If the ball goes out of bounds, it's a turnover. After about a minute, have teams switch roles and play again. You may see attackers crowding towards the ball, like that. We're looking for this. Spreading out with their hips open to the playing space to find their teammates, while talking and working together to create more passing options. Coaches, defenders can learn a lot here too. Encourage them to double up to apply pressure to the ball, while the third defender tries to block passing angles. Remember, spread out, hips open, work as a team. You won't be able to keep your team away from this game.
3, 2, 1, Mojo!
If one goal is never enough, we've got the game for you. This is 5-goal game. Here we're working on attacking skills and finding a new attacking path when the one you're on gets blocked. Use 4 cones to create a rectangular grid and use pairs of cones placed arm's length apart to create a goal in each corner, plus a 5th goal in the center. Divide players into 2 teams, 1 in pennies. Here's how it looks. Each side sends in an equal number of players. You can play 3v3 or 4v4.
Here we go!
You play in the ball and whoever gets to it first is on the attack. Players try to pass the ball through any goal to a teammate to score. Doesn't matter which direction, as long as it finds a receiver. That goes for the goal in the center too. This makes it extra tricky for the defending team. They have 5 different goals to protect, and the only way to gain possession of the ball is to intercept or steal it. The attackers, meanwhile, have to adapt quickly to pressure by changing the goal they look to attack. If turnovers aren't happening naturally, play short rounds and switch roles to ensure all players get turns attacking and defending. Coaches, teamwork is key here. Remind attackers without the ball to keep moving. We want them finding open space near a goal so their teammate can find them to pass or score. Remember, pass to score, find open space, find a new path. Now you know what every goalie's worst nightmare looks like.
When in doubt, talk it out.
Here, to the gate.
The game is Gates Passing. Here, we're developing players' passing and communication skills. Use cones to set up a rectangular grid and place pairs of cones arm's length apart randomly throughout the space. These are your gates. Divide your players into pairs, each with a ball. Here's how it looks.
Ready and begin. Let's go.
Pairs dribble around the grid, trying to score as many goals as they can by passing to each other through the gates until you call time.
Keep it basic.
Done well, it might look like this. Players working together to move fluidly from one gate to the next. If done not so well, you'll know it when you see it. And by the way, that's okay. Practice makes progress. Coaches, encourage players to tell their teammate where they plan to go next and to head there after passing, while receivers direct their first touch towards their target. Remember, pass and move. Soft touches, work as a team. Simple passes, coaching bliss.